Technology represents the powerful tools that the learner can use to facilitate his or her own learning process. The pre-service teacher technology competencies identify areas of proficiency for teachers to effectively use technology resources to create the conditions that optimize learning. Teachers need knowledge of the basic technology equipment operations and concepts, technology resources and tools for information literacy, and technology resources and tools for content areas. More information on this can be found in the Technology as Facilitator of Quality Education model. A middle school class is collaborating with students in Sweden to write and perform an opera. The teacher, along with 2 technology coordinators, demonstrate technology competency number 20, the use of instructional software, by integrating software that enhances the student's learning. The students use several types of instructional software in the process of creating their opera. To design the makeup and hairstyles for the performers, the students use Cosmopolitan Virtual Makeover software.
All right, you're also working on makeup, and you're working with a program called Cosmopolitan Makeover. Can you tell me how this program works and some of the things you've done with it?
Well, you take a camera, a digital camera, and you take a picture of anyone, and you put it on the computer, and you pick a picture, and it shows up on the screen, and you can pick hairstyles and hair colors, and then there is highlights, and you can do our makeup and lipstick and stuff.
2 other students use Microsoft Paint and Adobe Photoshop Deluxe to create the logo for the opera company. The logo will be used on t-shirts and buttons. Students also worked with Printshop Deluxe and Microsoft Draw to create invitations to the opera, welcome banners for the Swedish students, and posters to promote the opera.
Mark, you drew the logo?
Yeah, we started a couple months ago, and Ms. Forstall asked us to, everybody in her music class, to draw a logo, and then we picked it out, and mine was the best. We narrowed it down, and then we picked it out. And then I edited it on the computer, and then Sweden sent theirs over here, and then we put ours on top of theirs, and Jenny did that. That's the one that I did before.
That's the first one.
And what program do you have that in right now?
Microsoft Paint.
In the Paint program. Is that how you edited it?
Yeah.
No, over there I scanned it, and opened it in Adobe Photoshop Deluxe, and I cropped it, and then I just filled it in with gray because we don't have a color printer over there.
How did you determine what to put on the front and what it would look like?
We had to go to select a square graphic because we got to pick out a layout, and there's all these different ones. You can have and we picked the world because that was the only thing that went with it.
It goes with our theme, doesn't it? Worldwide Writers Opera Company.
And then I had to write, "You're invited to our international opera, Riverside in Helsingborg, Sweden." And I didn't choose a border because I didn't think it would. And then we have all the information, and then we hope you can come to our operas and have this music.
Since it was
stuff
music,
there.
you added those.
I made this on Printshop Deluxe, and I had to make 3 of them because we couldn't fit it all in one, because I had the time, the price, and when we did them, and we're putting about the McCready Theater. I went into Microsoft Print, and I fixed about this much of it because that was cut off, and this side, some of it was cut off, so they had a logo in there. It was our logo, so I changed it to, well, they had their logo and our logo, and I changed it to both of them put together there because I didn't know how they did it. And I corrected the writing, and I cleaned it up a bit because when we scanned it, it wasn't showing up perfect.
2 students explain how the Total 3D Home Deluxe 2.0 software helped them design the set for the opera.
Taylor, you want to tell us a little bit about the computer program that you use? First of all, what's it called?
It's called Total 3D Home Deluxe, and this is our basement scene right now. And there's you just put in whatever you want it to look like. If you click there, and if you want a bed in it, then you click there, and it'll give you choices of beds, and then you just drag it in there. And you can also do elevation, and that's where you look at it what you would see when you walk through the door. And this is like, if you walk through it, you can see what it's going to look like.
So this will be very helpful to us as directors. We can actually see where your furniture is, and the Swedish teachers can see that too, even before they come, and know where things are going to be.
Students also use MusicTime 2.0 Passport software to compose the music pieces that will be part of the opera.
That's called a double flat. You flat it twice. But you don't need to put the flat in here because it's in the key signature. And then you need an A, that's an eighth note. And then you would tie that to the next measure, probably. I don't know how long do you want to hold on it. Da 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 bum bum.
We can't get it to tiny.
No, just put a quarter note in there for now. Or how long do you want it to be? Da 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 bum.
Yeah.
That's about 3. Well, let's give it. Let's make it a half note. Okay. And that's the basic idea. We're going to write down those parts. You're each going to be doing 2 sets of those little melodies.
One of the students was responsible for designing the opera company's web page. She explains the program she used, why she decided to use it, and the contents of the web page. The teacher and the technology coordinator demonstrate technology competency number 14, World Wide Web authoring, by having the students publish their projects on the World Wide Web.
And I recommended the idea of doing this on xpage.com because I have my own web page on this, and I'm familiar with the program and I know how to use it. So the web page took me about an hour to make. The web page just basically tells us what the opera is, who we're doing it with, what it's about, what the jobs are for each committee, and we got some quotes from some of the students, and then you can, down here, I put our guest book, so people can go in and sign your guest book. You click on sign guest book, and you put your name, your email, city, state, country, and then comments, and then you click sign guest book.
The teacher and the technology coordinator demonstrate technology competency number 15, the use of audiovisual production software. Students use Avid Cinema software to edit video footage. This allows them to create videos showing all the steps that they had to go through to produce the opera.
That's a good one. People do these and they like different effects. You kind of choose your favorites. And another thing you can do on this when you edit this, if you tumble that, now when you do something, sometimes you want a longer fade, right? Or more of a dissolve for more drama. So what you can do is grab this little handle up here, stretch it. Now apply it. Well, you're going to have a dissolve as long as the video, but that's okay. Take a look at that when you get that done, huh?
The teacher and the technology coordinator demonstrate technology competency number 13, the use of multimedia presentation software. The students create a PowerPoint presentation that documents their work on the opera. They take digital pictures of each stage of the production and compile the pictures in a multimedia presentation to show before each performance.
How are we doing on the PowerPoint then?
We're almost done, except for as we take more pictures with the new things that we're doing, we're going to add them on as we go. And I don't know.
What is the goal of the PowerPoint? What are we going to do with the PowerPoint?
On the days of the production, we're going to show the PowerPoint presentation before we start, so everybody can see all the work that the students have put into this.
So you've been keeping pictures from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a photo journal?
Pretty much, yeah.
So when we're done, it will show from the very beginning to the very end all the steps that we took. And you've been adding them as we go. Okay, good.
The teacher and the technology coordinator demonstrate technology competency number 16, word processing, by having the students use word processors to compose, revise, and produce professional-looking materials. The students use Microsoft Word to create the program for their opera.
Okay, now, you see the tabs up here? Yeah. So the margins is where we can change the margins, and because, again, we're going to come right up to the edges on this. Otherwise, we won't have room. Then if you click on paper, paper size. Okay, see down at the bottom where that A is on the paper?
Yeah.
Okay, you have portraits this way, landscapes this way. So which way are we going to go?
Landscape.
The instructor and the technology coordinator demonstrate technology competency number 3, troubleshooting, by teaching students basic troubleshooting techniques. One of the students describes problems she had while scanning the opera music to send to Sweden. She explains what caused the problems and how she was able to solve them.
When you were doing that to start with, we had a problem. Do you remember what that was? When we tried to attach the first time?
Oh, it wouldn't let us attach because we had too many bytes on the paper and we had to fold it in half and then scan it.
To make it smaller, didn't we? So we learned that we had a limit on what size the documents could be, couldn't we? Well, and then they emailed back and said that they didn't like the way we were sending them, didn't they?
Yeah, and so we had to change it. We had to save it on the scanning instead of on the documents.
And so we saved it. You remember what kind of file it was? You were saving it as?
Gifts.
Okay. And then we could attach it and it was small enough for them. Okay, good.
Another student had problems when printing the invitation she had prepared for the opera.
Did you have any problems while you did this program?
Yes. I couldn't get it to print the first 3 times, and I think the first 4 times I tried, the computer kept shutting down by itself, and it kept making me mad, so I had to get Mrs. Beatty, and she helped me with it, and I finally got it to work, because I had to figure out that we had to be on the network to get it to print.
The teacher demonstrates technology competency number 4, equipment operation, by designing activities that teach students how to operate both basic and discipline-specific equipment to support their learning. One of the students is responsible for scanning the opera music that will be sent to the Swedish students. She explains and demonstrates how to scan and send large documents.
I've been doing the scanning to Sweden, and that's our music. We send it over to Sweden or else they wouldn't have anything. Okay. You put it in the scanner and start scanning, and then you go on the internet for Internet Explorer, and we have our own internet page, and we just have our own password and everything, and we go there and compose, and then you attach it, and you send it.
Should we go ahead and send that one, and then maybe we can send the Georgia song later so you can work on the program? Should we go ahead and do that? So what's the next thing you need to do then?
I need to go on the internet and go to our address.
Okay.
Oh, and I have to check the bytes before I go on the internet, because if there's too many bytes, I have to fold them out.
Okay. Do you think that'll be a problem with this, with 4 pages?
It's not usually. It
Okay.
happens.
The teacher helps one of the student composers use an electronic keyboard to play a piece of music that they have been preparing for the opera project.
Let's see, it goes down G, G, F, E flat, D. Right.
The teacher demonstrates technology competency number 1, how to operate a computer system, by requiring students to save files with appropriate names on the school's server. The teacher helps 2 of her students name one of the music files they are working on so they can find it later. She also explains that the name of the file should not exceed 8 characters.
And shall we name this so we don't lose it the next time we come?
Is this the opening scene?
So you can go to File and what should we call it? Should we call it Gigi's?
Gigi's Tune, maybe?
Yeah, what do you want to call it?
I don't want to call it anything.
You're limited to 8 letters, so give it a name so we can find it again.
Gigi's Tune.
Yeah, how about Gigi's Tune?
Whatever.
I mean, this doesn't necessarily have to go on the program. It's just going to be part of that song, so just so we can find it.
You have to push the G really hard.
No.
Okay.
Gigi Tune.
All right.